Hi guys, welcome to Game Talk. We have Sam with us today talking about the Ajax Vitesse, the very good game that we played, 5-0. Sam, how much did you enjoy that game?
I loved it. I think every Ajax fan probably did, especially given what happened last week.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tell me, how did you, before the game start, you get the, the starting 11, you look at the only change we had compared to Twente was, of course, Anthony swapped with Berghuis. So what kind of feeling did you have before the game started?
To be honest, I was quite happy with it. I think it was a needed change. I haven't followed Berghuis too much before his move to Ajax, besides when he played against us previously. So I kind of thought he lacked the energy, the sort of pace that we needed. That Anthony just brings that sort of youth and that raw talent that we desperately needed for this game, and it proved how important he was. So generally, with the starting lineup, I was really happy, especially seeing Anthony back in the starting lineup as well.
Yeah. So listen, we started from the start. Actually, from the start, we were just blazing.
Yeah.
And we didn't stop, basically. We could have scored much more than 5. So in general, the whole game, looking at the whole game, what stood out for you?
I mean, we're talking about Anthony. He was electric today. I mean, his connection down the right-hand side with Mazraoui was exceptional. I think everyone had been talking about it for a long time, and finally we got to see that link up down the right-hand side. And I mean, it took him 4 or 5 minutes just to show how special that could be for us this season. I think throughout the game they created a lot of chances, but I think Tadic was exceptional as well. Obviously, Anthony will get a lot of the limelight for today, but Tadic doing what he does best. He was just sort of coming back into the middle of the pitch, creating a lot of chances as well. And I think there were some special moments that I know he created the own goal, but I think he could have had a goal or two himself.
Yeah, absolutely. I also agree with you. I think Tadic was really good. Honestly, if I look at the game, please correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe you saw it differently, but I thought a lot of players basically were very good today. Even the back line, even though they didn't do much because we didn't get many shots on target. We didn't concede many shots on target. I think only 2, maybe. But it's also because Timber and Martinez, they were very, very sharp. All the second balls were for us. They didn't really allow Vitesse to come into the game.
Yeah, and I mean, you make a good point. I actually pinpointed Daley Blind. I thought he was exceptional in this game because, I mean, Vitesse very rarely got out of their own box. And I think that's because Mazraoui and Blind were pressing in so high up the pitch that every time they tried to play a couple of passes to get out of their own half, that's when our fullbacks really tried to press them, trying to force those mistakes. And I mean, Daley Blind, from one of those sort of pressure moments, he could have got an assist himself. He pressed quite high up the pitch, won the ball back, played it into Tadic, and we just couldn't finish. But I think as a whole, defensively, not much to do today. But when they were called upon, they did an exceptional job. And Alvarez just sitting in front of the back four is such a underrated position, but it's so important for the way that we play and the way that we've been recently. A lot of credit goes to Alvarez as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I also asked this question to Sahbi earlier. What's your favorite goal?
Favorite goal? That's a good question. It's got to be the first one, to be honest. I think, see, my thing with Anthony is that he started last season really well and he sort of fizzled out a little bit, dried towards the end. And I'm really hoping this season we don't see that. But I think that connection, that link up, but it was such a good finish as well. I mean, it would have been nice to see Alvarez score as well, the one where it hit the bar. And I mean, Gravenberch's finish for the third one was exceptional as well. But I think just sort of seeing Anthony back in the red and white, seeing him score, it was a happy moment for us all, I reckon.
Yeah. So listen, after the 1-1 last week of Twente, this is exactly what we wanted. So this was a perfect game, almost near perfect, but really good game. So now we have an international break, unfortunately. And then when we come back, we have, of course, an eredivisie game. I think we will play PEC Zwolle first. And then we will start with the Champions League campaign. Do you think we're nearing our form, our Champions League form, in the sense that the players that we have today, that play today, do you think these are the players we have to go with?
It's not far off it, really. I think it would be interesting to see if Durami, the new signing from Copenhagen, if how he sort of fits into the team. I think for me personally, I'd like to see Tadic more in a central position because we've seen it. I mean, our semi-final Champions League run, he was so important in that sort of center of the sort of the attack, I guess. I think I'd like to see, ideally for me, I'd like to see him playing just behind Haller. I think we have to have Haller, say what you want about him, but he plays such a key role as a physical threat that what he does is he brings players into the game like he did today, even though he didn't score or get an assist, I believe, but he will be important in that role. I'd like to see Tadic slightly just behind. And I think for me, I'd like to see Anthony on the right, maybe Durami on the left, but maybe it might be a bit too soon for him. But that's how I kind of see it in that opening game.
All right, perfect. So any last thoughts on the game, on what's coming, maybe?
I think for me, one thing that I noticed is Klaassen wasn't himself today. Okay, he scored, and you can't really criticize someone when they score because they've obviously done something right. And he is very intelligent, Klaassen. He gets in the right positions as he did for his goal. But today he was very, very quiet. I don't think he was quite up to the pace of the game. And he was probably the one player that stood out that maybe didn't have quite good of a game compared to everyone else. But I think going ahead, he does bring that experience and we will need him for the Champions League. But whether he starts or not, maybe Kudus can come back. Everyone's sort of hoping he comes back soon. Maybe for the Champions League, he can replace Klaassen. I know a lot of people might disagree, but I'd like to see Kudus maybe coming for Klaassen. I think today kind of proved that maybe he's not quite up to the level, especially in the Champions League.